Ipswich lost while Leeds and Southampton both got draws, meaning Leicester picking up a win put them in an even better position, made them escape from the pack a little bit. West Brom, they were the team to beat Ipswich, so they've climbed up a bit. There was drama when Cardiff made a very late comeback against Preston, and Wayne Rooney got his first win of the season, albeit not too convincing, but it doesn't matter. 3 points on the board. Let's hope he can kick on now and get some points in this round. I got one correct score. It was Leicester beating Watford 2-0. Very happy with that one, and let's hope to get some here. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. 7th against 5th kicks us off with Cardiff against West Brom, and I'm pleasantly surprised with both these sides. I thought they'd be much lower in the table, but great starts for the season. Can they continue? Well, over 5-game form, Cardiff 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. West Brom 4 wins, 1 loss. So they're both doing very well. West Brom got a brilliant win against Ipswich 2-1. I'm going to go for West Brom to get another win here, 2-1. Two sides that have been struggling as of late, Coventry and Plymouth. Now Coventry were on a big losing run, then got a draw before the international break against Stoke, but they won their last one 3-0 away at Millwall, very good result. And Plymouth also won at the weekend 2-0 at home against Sunderland. One thing we do know about Plymouth is they're much better at home than they are away, which makes me think they could struggle, but I'm still not overly convinced that Coventry are out of that bad patch just because of one performance. So I'm going to go for a tight 1-1. Hull take on Rotherham. Hull are in good form. They're currently 2 points off the playoffs, so a win here could see them get into the playoffs by the end of the round. Rotherham, very good at home, 4 unbeaten, a great draw against Leeds, and before that against Ipswich. However, away form, their last 2 games have been very poor, handing Sheffield Wednesday their only win of the season and being thrashed 5-0 by Watford. So I am going to back the home side Hull here to get all 3 points in a 2-0 win. Middlesbrough face Preston next, and Middlesbrough's form as of late, a bit strange. Their last 4 games, they've lost to Stoke and Bristol City, drawn with Plymouth, and then somehow beaten Leicester out of those 4. So a brilliant win against a top side. That was at home, and they are at home here, but some little slip-ups, but they have really came on leaps and bounds this season considering their awful start. Preston, they lost at the weekend 2-1 to Cardiff, conceding in the 96th and 99th minute. How they haven't came away with anything from that game amazes me. It's a very, very late time to lose the game, but they are still sitting very, very high in the league. 6th place. You know, what more could they ask for? Obviously they'll love the points, but they're having a very good season so far. For this, I'm going to have to go with the home side. I just feel like they've got a bit more quality and that they will get the job done. So, 2-1 Middlesbrough. QPR take on Stoke, and if there's a side that's in need of a win, QPR are definitely one of them. Their last 12 games, they've had 8 losses and 4 draws. I keep going for 1-1s, and they have got better defensively as of late, but they're not picking up that win that they need. They can't get over the line, but they're at home, which should give them a slight advantage. Stoke were 4 games in a row with clean sheets, but lost 3-0 against Blackburn at the weekend. Bit of a shock there, because they've been so good defensively as of late. I think this could be a very low scoring game. I'm thinking 2 goals maximum. So I'm going to go for the most exciting option, which is a 1-1 draw. A fixture you may relate with Premier League years a bit more than the Championship is Watford against Norwich, as they've both been up there very, very recently, but they're just struggling to bounce back at the moment. Watford were in pretty good form, 3 wins and 3 draws in a row, but then lost to Leicester at the weekend. Not really a big decider because it's a game that a lot of teams will lose, but they would have hoped maybe to score at least. Norwich, 2 wins in a row against Cardiff and QPR. David Wagner is under a lot of pressure there, but he is seeming to pull a few results out the bag now. I think that may end here. I'm going to go for Watford to win 2-1. Blues travel to Blackburn, and this is a fixture I hate. We haven't won at Ewood Park in our last 9 league visits, so it's not a very fruitful hunting ground. However, maybe something can change here, as Blackburn rather inconsistent at the moment. Their last 5 games, win, loss, win, loss, win, which could mean that they're due to lose. I know that's not something to read into, but I'm trying to be as positive as possible. Away from home, Blues under Rooney, 3 games, 7 conceded. So not great defensive performances on the road. We did get our first win, 2-1 against Sheffield Wednesday. I know everybody beats them and we weren't too convincing, but in that second half, I feel like we kind of saw what Rooney's football is about a little bit more. And, I mean, Jordan James's goal was very, very well constructed with about, I don't know, between 15 and 20 passes strung together before scoring the goal. Not something we're associated with. A brilliant ball through that took out most of the defence to Stansfield. Something we're not associated with. So, I think it was a decent second half performance. We just need to try and take that second half and spread it across the whole game. Whether we can do that, I'm not sure, but the most optimistic result I can think of here is a 1-1 draw. Leeds have only lost 1 of their last 8, drawing 1 and winning the other 6. Swansea have only won 1 out of their last 6, so I think that means I've got to go for Leeds, even though they struggled to break down Rotherham at the weekend. Being back at Ellen Road, I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. Sheffield Wednesday, 3 losses in a row, still only that 1 win this season against Rotherham, and they're up against Leicester, top of the league, absolutely flying. I don't see a hope for Sheffield Wednesday here. Maybe it'll be that massive shock where they somehow get the win, but last against first, you just expect first place to blow them away. So I will go for the Foxes to win 3-0. Southampton against Bristol City could make for interesting viewing, as Southampton had that awful September with 4 losses in a row, but since then 9 unbeaten, 6 wins and 3 draws, so they've been climbing back up the table. They're in the playoffs and they are chasing Ipswich in second place. Bristol City, 3 games unbeaten, beat Middlesbrough 3-2 at the weekend, a very good result. I think this could be interesting. I think there'll be goals, so I'm going to go for 2-2. Sunderland take on Huddersfield, and you'd expect a Sunderland win, but they did lose 2-0 to Plymouth at the weekend. However, that was away, and their last 2 home games have been 3-1 victories. Huddersfield, they lost 2 games in a row, one 4-0 to Cardiff and one 4-1 to Leeds, so 8 conceded in 2 games. However, since then, the recent 3 games, they've scored 1, conceded 2. So although they're not scoring, they are keeping the ball out the net at a decent rate, less than a goal per game in their last 3 conceded. So that makes me think Sunderland will just edge it 1-0. And finally, Ipswich take on Millwall. Now Ipswich have only won 1 of their last 4, drawing 2 and losing the latest against West Brom. It was 2-0, and something interesting is their last 5 games, they've conceded 2 goals in each game, which is something that can't really go on if they want to be successful, and they are living very, very dangerously. They've got some very good teams chasing them, and if they keep conceding at the rate that they are, the law of averages sort of says they're going to drop quite a few points, because they can't be scoring 3 goals every game. It's just not sustainable. Millwall probably thought they were in the money when they beat Sheffield Wednesday 4-0. However, they lost 3-0 to Coventry last time out, a team that couldn't buy a win, so they're back to square one really. I do think that Ipswich will be able to not concede 2 in this one. I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet, but I will go for them to get back to winning ways with a 2-1 win. So those are my predictions for these championship fixtures. Let me know your predictions down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Hopefully it's a great week of football, and hopefully Blues can get a point, a positive result and a good performance.